What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. The question today is, well, it has always been on our mind, is altcoin season finally here? We're going to talk about some simple but very effective indicators that tells me that could very well be true coming soon, that altcoin season is going to be here. I'll show you guys the charts. It's going to be very easy to understand. Now, if you guys are new to this channel, you guys know that I actually dive deep into the charts. I'll show you guys the moves before it actually happens, because let's face it, that's a lot less riskier than chasing a pumping green candle, right? If you guys actually chased a pumping green candle, you guys let me know how that worked out, but it has been very stressful for me when I chased it. So something different is gotta be taking place. Now, if you guys do want me to do any technical analysis on any markets, any coin, drop a request in the description below. I would choose one request every day, and I would do a technical analysis request for you guys. Make sure to drop it in the comment section below. And of course, like, subscribe, and comment, because I'll be doing daily ideas and updates for the crypto markets, and especially Bitcoin. Let me go ahead and turn off my heater real quick. All right. It's getting hot and cold in here, so it's funny weather. Now let's go ahead and take a look into Bitcoin and see what it could be doing, right? We had this rise to about 95,000 yesterday, right? We had a daily candle almost reaching 95,000. I talked about that resistance, okay? 95,000 is going to be resistance, because if you guys actually take a look into the daily time frame here, you guys can see that there's been quite a bit of supports and bounces on this side of the charts, right? And since we have actually lost that support, now we're basically trying to reclaim this level as resistance. Okay, that is a very strong indicator that you guys do need to get to know in order to trade this profitably. Just knowing where to mark your supports and resistances in order to open and close positions, right? So that is basically what I'm looking at. 95,000. If we can actually get over this, start getting daily candles above it, then we are still very well on our way to our price target, which is 104,000, which is basically that double bottom pattern I've talked about for the past couple of weeks, right? On the 3-day time frame, we had double bottom, which is also a very simple and effective pattern to spot for reversal, okay? Now, double bottoms usually give a reversal, and this time it did. We actually broke out of the 89,000 neckline, okay? And the price target, which is basically you take the price range but from the neckline down to the bottom of the pattern, and then you put that measurement back on top of the neckline. That will give you the price target. That is just textbook technical analysis. If you guys want to learn more about technical analysis, please do Google it. That's how I learned more about it and got more familiar with it and started trading better. Now let's go ahead and come to the 3-day time frame. Stay on the 3-day time frame here. We are on some resistance here. I talked about this resistance in addition to being that 95,000 range. Moving averages are also resistances, right? And supports. Depends on if you're above it or below it. Right now, we're below one right now, which is the 3-day 50 SMA, the gray line at about 93,000. The 3-day candle closed about 8 hours, okay? A pretty safe assumption that I use is that, price action doesn't usually get over a support or break down from get over a resistance like a moving average on the first try. So this was the first try. So, I would still expect it to be resistance, and the next candle here is going to be interesting, right? Let's see if we actually get over it that time. Now let's go over here to the daily time frame. Again, we are above the daily 200. Very solid candle above the daily 200. And I think this is a very good indicator because, we've been consolidating around the daily 200 for quite some time. And that is basically the divide between saying if this is a bull market or a bear market. And since we have gotten a solid candle close above the daily 200 at about 89,000, which is the orange line there, I'm pretty, I would say that we are very much in a bull market right now. Okay. Now let's come over here to the hourly time frame, shorter time frame here, since we actually broke above the daily 200, right? And we've been consolidating here on the hourly time frame, staying above about 91,000 here, right? And we're getting a bounce back, right? Some shorter term moving averages, that's very important because we're actually reclaiming some of these shorter term moving averages as supports, right? Including the hourly moving averages. The 2 hour time frame, we're actually trying to get back on top of the 2 hour 21 SMA, which is the blue line here. Okay, if we can actually break back out of, well, it's going to be that $95,000 range, right? Then it's going to start looking pretty good for Bitcoin. And I'm looking at this short term pattern here because on the short term pattern, we actually just started a new trend of breaking out, right? So I'm concentrating on this right now and see if we can actually, break out of this short-term resistance. Again, 95,000. Now let's come over here to Ethereum and altcoins because that's pretty interesting, right? Um, right now, Ethereum has actually broken out of this huge falling wedge pattern. I've been talking about this, right? That has been forming on the daily time frame, very notably since the end of January. Price target is going to be about 2,900. Right now, Ethereum is lagging behind Bitcoin by a lot. And why I'm saying that is because in relations to the moving averages, right? Bitcoin is already above the daily 200. However, Ethereum barely got over its daily 21 SMA, and it's trying to get above the daily 50 SMA. The daily 200 SMA is very far away from Ethereum. So will Ethereum pump, get a pretty big pump to actually catch up to Bitcoin, or will it actually, come up slowly? So that's something going to be pretty interesting to watch, right? But that is basically what I'm seeing. It's lagging behind Bitcoin by quite a bit. It's also lagging behind the altcoins, Total 3, altcoin market cap, excluding Ethereum, because why I'm saying that is because Total 3 is actually above the daily 50 SMA, which is the white line here, and it's very close to the daily 200 SMA, currently at about 850 billion, okay? Now, Total 3 has actually broken out of this falling wedge pattern as well, and the price target is going to be over $1 trillion market cap, which could do some pretty crazy pumps for some of these smaller altcoins, as you guys have probably already seen in the past couple of days, on Coinbase especially, right? So that is going to be, got some pretty optimistic expectations out of altcoins. That's just me, my opinion, not financial advice. Okay, so this is basically what I'm looking at for altcoins. This is the key indicator. Looking at this chart, a breakout of the falling wedge pattern, price targets, and also if Bitcoin stays above the daily 200 SMA, which very much likely looks like it will because of that solid candle, then I would expect Total 3 Ethereum to follow pretty soon. And that is, that's going to be a pretty big jump from what the price action is right now. So, like I said, I got some pretty good expectations, bullish expectations coming from the altcoins, even Ethereum. Okay, even though it's lagging way behind. So that's basically it for the crypto markets. Let's take a look into stock market. Very important indicator as well, because this has high correlation with the crypto markets. It affects Bitcoin, which affects the altcoins. Okay, looking very bullish right now as well, because let's just do a little bit of a recap on the stock market, which is the S&P 500 mini futures that I'm focusing on. I talked about this falling wedge pattern, right, which usually breaks to the upside. price target here is going to be about 5,800. A little bit of moving averages to get above, but it looks like it's trying to break out of this pattern here. And since we actually had that dump, right, it's been coming back with higher highs and higher lows, which looks pretty good to me. So in that sense, I don't see any headwind coming crypto's way. So right now, that's basically what I'm looking at. Very bullish on crypto right now. And that basically wraps up my update for today. Okay, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. Let me know any TA requests. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a beautiful day.